I now own the biggest pond on YouTube. If I go like this, you see those bubbles right there that it's creating? Now it's creating oxygen. 16-foot above ground pool pond. Look at this. What is up, Rawwfam? So if you guys have been tuned into the channel, you guys know that I now own the biggest pond on YouTube. This is a 16-foot above ground pool pond. Look at this bad boy. Oh my gosh. Before it wasn't out in level because you see this sand right here? Whenever it rained, the rain washed out all of that sand on the back side, so it started to fall. I had to quickly get a pump and pump all this water out so it wouldn't break the biggest pond on YouTube after the video was already up. And now we got 3 rows of sandbags. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about that in a second. Alright guys, so you guys will be able to see the pump I have. Okay, let me just get around here. Alright, so this little bag right here is very important. We could just take this, put this out of the pond for a second. Alright guys, so what you guys are going to need, this pump right here, is all it's doing is going into the water and it's circulating the water 3,600 gallons per hour. Okay, and what you guys are going to need to do is get a good tube. This tubing was no more than $6 at I think I got it at Orchids. And then you guys are going to need to get clamps. What this clamp does, it makes a watertight seal. Okay, and a very important thing is you're going to need to get a little bag just like this, so it's not just sucking up all of these leaves and all that stuff, and it'll most likely make your pump explode if too much soot and all that stuff gets in there. All right, so that's the pump. I recommend taking a zip tie right here and closing that zip tie right in the middle. Okay, so this pump does not come out of this bag. This bag is very important, and if you have this bag come off and then your pump explodes overnight, most likely when you get back in here, it's gonna be chaos. And sometimes if you're relying on this pump to aerate your pond because it's a smaller pond, all your fish will be dead. So let's put this bad boy back in there. There we go. Okay, that pump is back in. Oh, you could hear it. It's just shot. All right guys, so the next key components to a pool pond at this caliber, okay, we got lake water from across the street, okay, and what we did was we got water that is already fish friendly. We could have just gotten water and whatever, and we would have had to put certain stuff in it, and we would have had to put a lot of that certain stuff, and it would have basically just been pouring chemicals to make it fish friendly, or we could just get water from across the street that's already fish friendly. So the next key component right here, this is an OSHA, O-A-S-E, OSHA. Basically we did the same tubing. You want to get a tubing that you want to get a good tubing that connects straight to your pump, that'll go right into whatever you're using as a filter. So this is my filter. Okay, this filter, I recommend it. Okay, one, because this goes directly from the pump into the filter. It goes down there, cleans all of the water, and right about here, this filter has little like balls, and it's what those balls are in there doing is it is letting bacteria grow in there, but it's certain bacteria that is healthy for your pond. I read up on it, and it's a very, very, very good filter. Okay, so what the water is doing is going from the pump into here, down there, the bacteria is growing down there, and it's coming out of this tube, and then it is going back out this. Okay, I mean, it's there's clearly current on this pond, which is essential. You don't want those fish to just have sitting water, then bacteria will grow, and it's just It's not the good thing. You want this as much water circulating around this pond into the filter as possible, so then you could get that nasty bacteria out of there. Now, a big thing why I say all this water needs to be into this filter is because my filter isn't an average filter. My filter has a UV my filter has a UV sterilizer that is a bulb. As of right here, you guys might be able to see it. See that little light right there? That basically means that it is on, and there's a little light that's in there that is killing all the bacterias that aren't good for the pond. Now, the bacteria that are good can make it through that light, and they're gonna be inside there growing. Yes, I mean growing. It's still kind of hot out here, so I'm not jumping on the heater thing yet, but what I'm going to do, me personally, I'm gonna get a smaller pump. You're gonna need a smaller pump just to push the water around a little bit more. So that smaller pump is gonna go out here into the heater, okay? So that smaller pump's gonna go from the water into the heater, okay? The heater's gonna circulate it around and then shoot it back into here, so then this water is going to stay a constant temperature. A constant temperature is very key. If that water temperature is changing, let's say you have a heater that's solar powered, but it's only giving you heat in the middle of the day. When winter comes, it's going to be nice and warm in the middle of the day, and then that temperature is going to drop a couple degrees, and that is going to make your fish get ick and different diseases, and that is not good at all. You do not want that. Look at the little leaf. It's getting pushed around my pond. 3,600 gallons per hour. This, every single hour, it should circulate this pond at least once. All of the water in it will eventually shoot into that, through that. Okay, so as of right now, I'm not too sure of what I'm personally gonna do. What I think I'm going to do is get more tubing and have that right there go from the pump out here into the filter all the water, and then have that right there go into the heater, and then that heater shoot back into the pond. Which I'm still new, but I've done a lot of research, and that is my perspective of what I think I should be doing for this pond. Let's just take this cover off. That's so we don't get leaves in here and then it starts staining the water bad. As you guys can see, let's go over to this right here. We got water pumping through there. You see how good that's pumping? Now, you could do one or two things. You see all those bubbles on top of the surface right there? Well, let me get this stuff out of here. You could do one or two things, and I'll tell you guys which one I'm doing, okay? This pump right here is going into the water, okay? Now, by doing that, all it's doing is just pushing water and it's just circulating it. Now, if I go like this, you see those bubbles right there that it's creating? Now it's creating oxygen. You see those little bubbles? That's kind of like a bubbler now. You see all the way down there. And that's all you got to do for that is if you have a smaller pond, you're not really going to need a bubble machine down there in the pond like I'm going to. This thing is 16 feet from here to over there and 16 feet from there to over there. Now what you guys are going to do is if it's a big pond just like this, you're going to have to get a little bubble box or something down in the pond so those fish are well aerated. That's a huge thing. The aeration is almost as important as a heater. So what you could do if you have an 8-foot wide pool, if you could just take this right here and push this out of the water just a tad bit, and now it's going to make bubbles. You see those bubbles? That's called aeration. All right, those are making those bubbles right here. That is making oxygen, and it's oxygenizing the water. Every bubble out of shot. Alright guys, so the most important thing about building your own pool pond is that you have to have the pond level. As you can see, I'm about to show you guys, my pond was very unleveled. As you guys can see right here, this ground is going straight down, just like that. So what you're gonna have to do if you wanna do something like this is that you're gonna have to build the ground up. And as you guys can see right here, I basically took sand over there and I leveled it out. Okay, I put a little bit of sand over there too, so then the roots and the natural stuff wouldn't grow and puncture the pool. But what I did, I put sand about halfway, and then it's built up. I have these big old sandbags right here all the way around this pool, and that is basically just leveling this thing off. There's probably about a foot and a half to 2 feet of sand just right here. If you guys could see, this is a big sandbag. This is a concrete block of sacrete, and we braced this whole pond off with these little rebars, as you could see, and we staggered them and we put them on an angle, so if this thing ever moves a little, it can't just tip over. So you could see we put one here, and then we put one a little bit more in, and we filled that in with dirt, and then we put this one up a little bit more and we filled that in with dirt also. All right, so another thing we did before, if you guys are going to do this with the sand like I did, we had these braces right here in the sand, and if you could see this, you could stick your finger through there, okay? Because it's just sand. What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to get a compactor. I ordered a compactor, or not ordered, but I borrowed a compactor from Home Depot, and I paid like 50 bucks for like 4 hours, and I came around this and I compacted the whole thing, right? So basically what that does is it just shakes. It shakes and it makes all of those little granules, all the little sand and all that stuff. It just makes that kind of compact, and then it just kind of keeps going. And I did about 15 to about 30 trips in circles around the whole pond, and I really just kind of compacted that right to the floor. All right, another thing you guys are gonna have to do if you guys do this is that you guys see these are bricks, okay? These are they like little pavers. You're gonna have to put those after it's compacted. You could easily brush this around. When you push like this, you can't push through it. When you push like this, you can. So that paver is what's stopping this whole pond on every single side from just falling right through. Guys, the Rawwfam is the strongest and fastest growing fishing channel on YouTube. And on that note, I love you guys. I love you guys with every ounce of energy and love just in my body. On that note, guys, just please hit that subscribe button. I love you guys. We have the biggest pond on YouTube. Now, let's go get some giants in that pond. I love you guys.